This is a story, a fairy tale about a hospital, about facts and why they're important, and how lies get you killed. And buckle up, guys, it's a little longer. Here's what we know. At 7:59 p.m. on the 17th, Hamas launched a barrage of long-range missiles, announcing that among them is an R-160 rocket aimed at Haifa, which is very, very far from the Gaza Strip. One of these already launched on Haifa on the 13th and caused quite a bit of fire damage there. But this time, the Israeli alert system didn't register a launch and Haifa was not hit. You want to know what was? At 8:09 p.m., Hamas unofficial telegram channels announced a hit on a hospital in the Gaza Strip that caused unprecedented devastation that Israel was immediately blamed for. Within minutes, we had reports of hundreds of dead. No one could have had time to find, not to mention report. In 2 hours, that number quadrupled. At almost movie montage speed, all doctors were done caring for all the injured such devastation is highly likely to create, and had time for a press conference in the morgue where all the bodies of all the dead were already neatly wrapped and piled together. Because honestly, who wouldn't want to have a press conference in a morgue in the wake of a tragedy? I mean, this script just writes itself. And there's no plot hole with the idea that a reportedly understaffed, under-equipped, allegedly falling down hospital would have all the bodies of every dead neatly splayed in a row in a few hours. Just for context, it's been 12 days, and we're still finding bodies of victims of the Hamas massacre. But that is just the tip of the bullshit iceberg. All night the slander machines churned. They didn't need data or evidence. The videos all show local rocket attack. No Israeli missions were even flying the area. But hey, why not once again stand in the way of ending terror? Which is what we're here for, remember? And at this point, Hamas adds a plot twist to the mix, saying if it wasn't Israel, it's Islamic Jihad. Islamic Jihad are Hamas accomplices, but apparently they're multi-talented and can also play the role of scapegoat when necessary, because really, we care what the murderous terrorist calls themselves. It's so much better now that we know it was Islamic Jihad trying to kill us. And pundits persist. Hamas can't cause such levels of destruction. And really, come on, you think we forgot the prequel? It was less than 2 weeks ago. But more than that, the special effects. How are they unfazed by the fact that no such destruction can even be found? Just a large fire. Why are we ignoring the very large long-range missile in the room? The one that failed before burning through its fuel tank? The same type that caused a very large fire in Haifa even without hundreds of kilograms of fuel? Where this one was headed just last week? So, based on this hastily thrown together tale, a day of rage was immediately declared. Again. The Iranian regime put some effort into the scene shot. They actually dragged people out of bed in the middle of the night to shout in the streets. What they left on the editing floor was the fact that the Iranian people, when given the opportunity to pick their own chants, have of late taken to shouting in football matches and demonstrations that they refuse to fight for the cause of unwarranted hate anymore. They don't want to die to protect Palestinian terror. It's almost like someone is forcing the gates of hell to open, or at least trying very hard to convince us they did, so they can destroy decades of meticulous confidence building in the Middle East that culminated recently in the Abraham Accords. And by morning, the enormity of the lie that seemed designed to incite violence and hate across the world should have been clear. There are pictures showing the hospital unscathed, not a scratch on the rooftop solar panels charging it. No direct hit anywhere. The hit to the parking lot, the only one we could see at the first night in the chaos of it all, is the only one. Dum dum dum. No mass destruction Hamas isn't capable of. And honestly, really, we're going with the story that there's destruction Hamas isn't capable of, really? After all this? There are also no hundreds of dead. Actually, there's no room for that many people to have been standing in the hit area. I'm not sure that many Acme characters could fit in there, unless maybe they were standing on top of each other. But most importantly, it's very clear that the unfortunate damage that did occur was by Hamas's own hands. And the storytellers still continue to spin. Now, Israel, still desperately cast as a villain, was firing too close to the hospital. But it's daylight. Without the cloak of darkness, we can see no crater in the landing zone, no damage outside the hit area, nothing. would support the claim that this was a powerful Israeli bomb. The unbelievability of the plot is disappointing. It's like you're not even trying. Hamas is firing rockets from behind hospitals, and then, with crocodile tears, blames Israel for retaliating, which, again, we did not do in this instance, because it endangers the population. Same population Hamas was hiding behind when they tried to shoot rockets at us in the first place. This is nothing more than a hoax of epic proportions, one that I really hope the good people of the Arab world will not let go unpunished. You see, we did find out this isn't the first, but rather at least the 450th time Hamas rockets fail in this way just in this campaign. So at this point, we have to wonder how many of the civilians dying in Gaza are not just Hamas's fault, but are also literally dying by Hamas's hands. Israel, you understand, isn't targeting civilians. And honestly, how much more ridiculous is this story going to get? Hamas is targeting Israeli hospitals. Barzilai Hospital in Ashkelon was already hit 3 times as of yesterday, and at least one 8-year-old was injured because of that. The reason there aren't any more casualties on the Israeli side is because Israel has shelters and protections in place, because we're so reluctant to hurt the people of Gaza that we've prepared defenses for terror attacks from within them, hoping we will not be forced to retaliate. And clearly, that will no longer do. Hamas launches rockets from behind hospitals, and they don't seem to care if they hit Israeli civilians or Palestinian ones. If Palestinians die, that's just another thing to blame Israel for and demonize it. This ongoing torment of both Israelis and Palestinians only ends if we stop listening to Hamas lies. When we understand what must be done is horrible, but the alternative is 1,000 times worse. To protect both sides, we must end Hamas with no compunction or hesitation. The evil they've brought to both peoples is just too unthinkable at this point. And it's already spreading worldwide. Support for this abhorrent ideology of death and destruction is growing stronger every day because of lies such as the tale of the attack on a Gaza hospital. Look at Hamas's propaganda from the 7th of October massacre. Remember, they were proud of the pointless, sadistic pain they inflicted on children for hours. They told their friends, they told the world, they told their mothers. They are only hiding it now so you would allow them to do it again. That is the truth of Hamas. That is who they are and what they want, to destroy everything good and right and human around them. Watch the uncut, unedited documentaries Hamas released. Look at unadulterated truth and ask yourself, can we afford to be anything but ruthless in the eradication of such evil? Are we not ensuring decades of more violence and pain worldwide if we don't? Are you sure you want to risk waiting until it is on your doorstep to wake up? You want to cling to the hope you'll be strong enough to win against such evil when it does reach you? Israel was complacent, and the bodies of hundreds of children are the price we pay for that. Is it a price you're willing to pay? The West is next. Hamas is ISIS, and it must be stopped now.